Discover the incredible journey of a little girl in her mother's maid uniform. A life-changing adventure awaits. Mia stood at the window, her heart racing as her mother, Maria, donned her maid uniform, a crisp white blouse and a dark skirt, a uniform that painted their lives with both pride and struggle. It was a symbol of love, resilience, and sacrificial strength. Maria's hands were worn and tired, yet her spirit shone like a beacon as she tackled her day. Mia watched as she turned to the mirror, adjusting her hair, and Mia would see not just a woman preparing for work, but a warrior gearing up for another battle against life's challenges. In their quaint suburb, where the houses towered and lawns were picture-perfect, Mia felt the weight of judgment from her peers. "You live where?" Sneers would echo sharp and cold, piercing her heart. Children of wealth dismissed her dreams as mere fantasies, their laughter just a reminder of the privilege she lacked. Each word carved deep feelings of inadequacy, yet there was still a flicker of hope in Mia's soul. A scholarship competition had just been announced, aimed at children of service workers. To Mia, that meant her chance. The days following the announcement turned into a whirlwind of dreams and determination. Bound by love for her mother, Mia poured her heart into her project, a vibrant display of their life together, the joy woven through hardship. Yet, the moment she presented it to the panel of judges, her dreams met a harsh reality. The judges dismissed her efforts, telling her blandly that it wasn't what they were looking for. Mia felt her spirit crumble. She watched as the hopes she stitched together began to unravel. Before despair consumed her, in a community meeting, a local veteran stood up. His weathered face bore the marks of a hard life but glinted with understanding. "This girl right here, she's got grit," he proclaimed, addressing the audience. "What she's done is more than important. It's the soul of our community." In that moment, hope ignited once more in Mia's chest. Could she really embrace the power of her story? "Mia, you have something special," her mother reminded her, stroking Mia's hair softly and offering encouragement in the darkest of moments. The words wrapped around Mia, making her feel strong again. Propelled by that endorsement, she began preparing mentally to face the judges again. But as she stood backstage, every heartbeat echoed doubt in her ears. Would they be able to recognize her worth through the veils of bias clouding their vision? Each breath felt heavy, but there was a fire in her heart, an intense desire to confront those unfair stereotypes and rewrite the narrative. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Standing on that stage, eyes scanning the crowd filled with unease and expectation, Mia suddenly felt an overwhelming urge to push against the tide. Could she make them see her reality? The warmth of her mother's love surged through her, an armor against judgment. As the moment approached, time slowed, and Mia's fears mixed with her fierce determination. Would her voice carry through the noise? Would her story resonate? What if this platform was her chance to be the change she wanted to see? The question hung in the air, a bridge between fear and exhilaration, leaving Mia poised on the cusp of transformation. Mia took a deep breath, feeling as though the weight of the world rested on her young shoulders. The spotlight glimmered, illuminating her trembling hands, the fabric of her dress slightly crumpled from her nervous grip. The audience was a sea of faces, some curious, some indifferent, and others skeptical. But at the edge of the crowd, she could see her mother, her rock, her everything. Maria's eyes sparkled with encouragement, and that made the difference. "Good luck, sweetheart," Maria mouthed silently. Mia closed her eyes for a split second, imagining the years of their struggles. The countless hours her mother worked, the sacrifices, and the dreams she shared. Mia was more than just a girl sharing a project, she was carrying the heart of her family. The fear that clutched at her whispered harsh reminders, but the warmth generated from her mother's love, and the memory of the veteraness words fueled her courage. "Mia, take your time," she heard the announcer say gently, urging her to begin. When Mia opened her eyes again, instead of letting doubt drown her, she chose to focus on her purpose. Each inch of the stage felt sacred, like a platform where she could share their story. She stepped forward, her voice filling the air like fresh morning dew. "I stand before you not as just another participant in this competition. I'm here as a daughter who knows what it means to struggle but believes in the power of dreams." A hush enveloped the room. She was no longer just Mia, she was a beacon of hope. As she spoke, memories washed over her. The scent of her mother's cooking, the laughter they shared amidst the chaos, and the bittersweet moments that shaped their existence. "I created this project to show you my life, my mother's life," Mia continued, her confidence growing. "We are not defined by our circumstances, and we don't need pity. We need understanding." These words hung in the air, drawing a reaction from the audience. She didn't want sympathy, she wanted her story to resonate. The fabric of her struggles, stitched together with resilience, was a tapestry waiting to be unveiled. "I took photographs of my mom in her uniform, not to highlight her labor but to celebrate her strength," she said, gesturing to the vibrant images behind her. "These aren't just pictures, they are snapshots of love, perseverance, and dignity." Mia watched the judges, trying to read their expressions. She could see a few faces softening, others furrowing in thought. Maybe they were starting to see what she was trying to convey. Could she really break through the walls that separated their worlds? "She's my hero, and every day she fights battles most people never see," she added, her voice wavering but strong. "So I'm here to say that we are more than our jobs, we are dreams, stories, and families." As she finished, silence enveloped the audience. Mia stood tall, hope beating against the silence like a drum. There was no turning back. The truth was out there, swimming in the open air, and all she could do was wait for a response. Then it came slowly, like a wave lapping at the shore. Applause erupted, but with it came a tremor of uncertainty. Mia's heart raced again. Had she done enough? As the judges whispered among themselves, she felt a mix of anticipation and dread. What if they remained blind to her truth? Would she be ignored again? All she could do was hold on to her mother's love, believing that sometimes, stories spoken from the heart had the power to change minds. But then a voice broke through the silence. The head judge stood up, and Mia held her breath, waiting for either validation or dismissal. "Your story is compelling," the judge began, and Mia's heart soared. But as he continued, the weight of his words hung ominously in the air. What would he say next? Would it be enough to change everything? Mia's heart hammered in her chest as the head judge continued, the words hanging like an unfinished song. "But it lacks a certain polish. You have a beautiful story, but it feels raw. We are looking for something more refined, something more marketable." Mia felt the air escape her lungs. Marketable? The essence of her mother's fight, of their life painted in vibrant colors with photographs, reduced to marketability? Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes, but she blinked hard, refusing to let them fall. She couldn't give in to despair now, not when she'd fought so hard just to be heard. Across the room, her mother's expression shifted, concern knitting her brow. Maria leaned forward, instinctively sensing Mia's struggle even from afar. A moment of silence stretched, heavy with anticipation. Mia could feel the hope fluttering in her chest like a trapped bird. Gathering her thoughts, she stepped closer to the judges, her voice steadying as determination slipped into her tone. "I didn't come here to polish my story for you. I came here to share what we've lived, to show you the truth behind those photographs. I don't need to fit into a mold." The audience remained silent, but Mia could see the intrigue sparking in their eyes. She continued, emboldened, "My mom may wear a uniform, but she carries the weight of 1,000 dreams within her. It's not about making it marketable. It's about shining a light on the lives we live, the struggles we face. Tell me what's more important. The shine of a trophy or the worth of a life lived with dignity? This time, she could feel the weight of her words pushing against the crowd. They were no longer just passive observers, they were leaning in, listening intently, hearts inching closer to understanding. Mia noticed a few claps behind her, followed by more. It was a gentle ripple that grew stronger, gaining momentum. Each clap resonated with her, bolstering her resolve. She had made her choice, she wouldn't shrink into the shadow of their expectations. The head judge glanced at the other judges, their eyes wide, murmurs taking root among them. Mia pressed on, we are all stories, some loud, some quiet, but all deserving of recognition. I want to show the world that a mother's love transcends everything, even when wrapped in a maid's uniform. The energy in the room shifted, and Mia felt her spirit lift. The applause grew louder, surging like a tide. With each clap, her confidence blossomed like flowers breaking through the frost. Finally, the head judge held up a hand for silence. Mia, we appreciate your passion. You've brought forth something raw and real. That's a strength too, and it's worth considering. Encouragement crackled in the air. But uncertainty still loomed. Would this moment be enough? As she stood under the spotlight, the warmth of renewed hope spread through her. It made her feel invincible. But amidst the glimmering cheers, a chilling thought crept in: would this moment define her, or would it fade away like a dream upon waking? Mia, the judge continued, if we were to give you a chance, would you be willing to transform this into something more polished? Something we could take beyond this room? Her heart sank at the implication. Transform her story? But she saw the sincere glint in his eye, the possibility of weaving her message into something that resonated on a broader scale. Could she find a way to hold the essence of her truth while crafting it into something bigger? Mia paused, grappling with the weight of the decision at her fingertips. The crowd was still, anticipation teetering in the air. What if this was the moment that could amplify her voice? What if she could take her story and echo it across the world? Mia, what will you choose? With all eyes upon her, she opened her mouth to respond, the fate of her dreams intertwined within her answer. Mia's mind whirled like a tempest. She stood at the crossroads of her dreams, teetering between what felt right and the promise of something more. The weight of the world pressed on her shoulders. This was not just her story, it was her mother's too. But was she ready to alter it, to let someone else shape the narrative? The room felt electric, anticipation crackling in the air. The audience was holding its breath, a collective heartbeat echoing in unison. They were waiting for her, believing in her raw honesty, in her fight for authenticity. And then there was her mother, Maria. Sitting in the back, eyes wide, holding her breath as if she were trapped beneath the weight of expectations. Mia felt that momentary surge of protectiveness revive the embers of her determination. Her mother had poured her life into every picture, every shared moment captured in that tender gaze, that tired smile. Taking a deep breath, Mia infused her words with the essence of her truth. I want my story to shine because it's real, because it's messy and complex. I don't want a facade. My mom deserves that. Each word punctuated the tension, sending ripples through the crowd, urging them to reflect. One of the judges leaned forward, eyes narrowing. She'd been quiet until now, a wallflower amidst the fervor. Mia, what do you feel we're missing? What do you think you could give us that would resonate? Mia's heart raced. It was a challenge, an invitation to dig deeper. I want to show you the moments people overlook, the late nights, the sacrifices, the laughter we shared in the kitchen while making dinner, she said, her voice gaining strength. The truth is, we are never just one thing. A mother in a maid's uniform is also a lioness, fiercely guarding the life she has fought for. Suddenly, the words poured out. She painted a vivid montage of memories, the way her mother's laughter could fill an empty room, the stories she spun about their ancestors and the struggles that shaped them. Each exchange, like threads weaving a tapestry of resilience and love. As Mia spoke, she saw some judges leaning in closer, captivated by the sincerity laced in her voice. She could feel the shift. But was it enough? Yet the lingering question hovered above like a specter, casting doubt. Just then, her mother's soft presence filled the room. Maria rose slowly, her eyes gleaming with unmistakable pride and conviction. "Mia, you've always known your own power. Whatever happens, you continue to shine. Speak your truth," she said, her voice steady despite the tremor in the air. Those words ignited something deep inside Mia. Could she be brave enough to keep her story unpolished yet resonate? "Mia, we believe in seeing more of you," one of the judges ventured, a belief rippling through. "But how do we harness this raw authenticity? How can we showcase every thread of your life's fabric?" Their sincerity struck deep, yet their words felt like a challenge. What if this was the ticket to amplify her voice? What if real change was nestled within her choice? Mia, the head judge's voice lowered, "Would you be willing to build a bridge between what you feel and what connects with others?" Her heart pounded as she grasped the enormity of the choice ahead. Each heartbeat echoed uncertainty, a journey shaping right before her eyes. What if saying yes meant more than she had ever imagined? Her gaze swept over the faces before her, and for a fleeting moment, she could see the mother heaving with heavy questions, yearning for the loudest love, the love wrapped in struggles and triumphs. As the silence deepened, Mia felt a shift within, the core of who she was trembling, not with fear, but with the whisper of something glorious yet unknown. "Mia, we're waiting," and there it sat, like a freshly unwrapped gift, a choice that could change everything. What would she decide? Would she dive into the ocean of possibilities this transformation could unleash? A gust of air passed her lips, and Mia took a step forward, the audience swaying with her heartbeat. The moment hung like a precious thread, waiting to see if she would weave her destiny into the tapestry of countless others. What would she say? "Mia." The word felt like a lifeline. It pulled her from the swirling vortex of doubt and fear. For a brief moment, the world around her blurred, and all she could see was the love and hope shining from her mother's eyes. They were a fiery testament to everything she stood for, every sacrifice, every dream deferred in the pursuit of a better life. Then, the weight of the room pressed back on her. She could feel the judges' anticipation like a palpable force. Their curiosity was alight, bright and unwavering, urging her to speak. Just moments before, the silence had threatened to swallow her whole. "Okay," she breathed, gathering her thoughts like gathering storm clouds. "I'll show you what it means to be a daughter of a warrior." The words danced out, each sentence grounding her amidst the whirlwind. "I'm not just here to tell my story, I'm here to honor my mother's. To show you the duality of her life, cleaning homes while dreaming of a greater future, battling against the tide of expectations while fiercely loving her family." A few gasps rose from the audience, and Mia felt electricity crackle around her. It fueled her resolve. "I can take you back to the nights when my mom worked doubles. When the only food we had was leftovers from the tables she cleaned, yet somehow, those meals tasted like familia, wrapped in kind words and laughter." She paused, blinking back tears but feeling them flow freely. "I want you to understand the joy in our struggle." Now, her voice was no longer timid, it surged with power and clarity. "There were moments when we danced in the living room, belting out our favorite songs while surrounded by laundry. She made me feel so special despite the chaos. My mother, in all her exhaustion, was also my greatest cheerleader. It's like she wore two hats, the one of the maid, and the one of the queen who always believed in the magic within us." As she spoke, Mia noticed soft nods among the judges, some whispering to each other, their expressions shifting from skepticism to intrigue. She wasn't just sharing her story, she was weaving her mother's legacy into the heart of the room. "And that's the truth I want to share. It's not just about hardship. It's about dreams, hope, love, and laughter. The rhythm of her heart synchronized with the words pounding against her chest. Each one resembling a battlefield that she was finally conquering. "Mia, this is a remarkable journey you're sharing." The head judge leaned in, her voice soaked in admiration. "But what happens when you step away from this moment? What does your future look like?" That question landed heavy but sparked a flicker of introspection within Mia. She had spent so long trying to articulate her feelings, trying to carve a path forward that no one else could dictate. What did she want? Beyond this stage and these walls. The gaze of her mother burned into her, a reminder of roots and wings intertwined. Was it time to grasp them, finally? To stop fearing what lay ahead? To embrace it as she would embrace her mother's spirit? "I think," Mia began, the threads of fabric from her life mingling with the threads of her mother's, each vibrantly colored and frayed, yet only beautiful when woven together. "I think my future is a canvas I paint on my own terms." The judges exchanged glances, their eyes wide with unexpected wonder. What would she reveal next? An electric tension thrummed through the air. And as Mia stood there, heart full of conviction, ready to forge ahead, she felt the winds of destiny at her back. For the first time, Mia was no longer unsure. She saw a glimpse of the horizon, shimmering like a promise just past the storm. But would the judges see it too? "Mia," the head judge finally said with palpable excitement, "if you were given the chance to amplify this voice you've just started to find, what would that look like?" And just like that, another wave of uncertainty crashed over her. What would it mean for her family? The question lingered, ripe with possibility and danger, as she stood on the cusp of a new chapter waiting to unfold. Mia inhaled, emotions swirling in her chest like a storm. Amplifying her voice? That seemed like finishing a painting she hadn't even begun. After everything she had shared, the idea of looking forward was thrilling yet terrifying. I guess she paused, searching for the right words. It would mean finding a way to tell all stories like mine, those of women like my mom, who bust their backs and still keep dreaming. It's about capturing moments that might go unnoticed. She felt the warmth of the audience's gaze, felt connected to them. It was like they were on this journey together. "I would like to use my voice to shed light on struggles that often remain in the shadows." The electricity crackled even more. To show that what might seem small, like sweeping a floor or cooking a meal, is actually monumental. Hope flickered into reality. Images danced in her head, a documentary perhaps, or a series of stories. Maybe even a platform where voices could join hers. "If I could create something that shows the love behind the labor, the resilience in our journeys, wow, that would be my dream." A tear escaped her eye, and she quickly brushed it away. This wasn't the time for sadness, it was a moment of possibility. "So you envision a future where your story intersects with others?" asked a judge, her emerald eyes bright and curious. "Yes. Exactly." Mia's words rushed out. There's a whole world of beautiful, messy, raw stories that could inspire so many. Each woman has her own battles, and I want to shine a light on that. She thought of her mother's laughter, the way it cut through the air like music on a summer evening. To acknowledge that even our struggles come with grace. The crowd was absorbed, their faces reflecting admiration, connection, and a sense of hope. Mia could see the intrigue expanding in their eyes, as if they were witnessing the awakening of an unexpected force. But doubt lingered. What if it all falls apart? She wondered if she could truly step into that space where vulnerability confronted ambition. "Mia," the head judge spoke, her tone appreciative and kind. "You have a gift. Your voice holds power. Understand that the journey back to your roots doesn't erase your wings, it strengthens them." Mia felt the warmth of those words wrap around her, infusing her heart with confidence. She could almost envision it, workshops, support groups, even community events bringing everyone together. Each voice contributing to a greater narrative, a symphony of hopes and dreams all woven together under one roof. What if? Another judge leaned forward, excitement lighting her eyes. What if you could involve others in your vision? Find a team to help amplify this voice? What would that look like for you? The question hit Mia like a wave, invigorating yet daunting. She saw a team of people standing shoulder to shoulder, their different backgrounds enhancing the richness of their collective voice. Art, music, stories all flowing together. But how would she take that first step? What kind of team could she create from scratch, one rooted in understanding and compassion? Suddenly, she felt a smile begin to bloom on her lips. I don't know how, but I believe it starts with connection. Each conversation, no matter how small, builds momentum. Mia paused, allowing those words to resonate in her heart, feeling their weight, their warmth. I want to create a community where every story is as valued as the next. Empowering us all to embrace who we are wherever we come from. With that spark of determination, she felt the hesitation slip away. This idea of bringing people together, it didn't just sound good, it felt right. It tasted like hope, clinging to her like the scent of her mother's cooking wafting through their front door. And there it was, yet another wave, caught between excitement and the unknown. Mia, the judge said gently, the moment of truth arrived. Are you ready to take the next step? Heartbeat racing in anticipation, Mia faced her doubts head-on. Could she really take that leap? Could she gather those friends and families around a common mission? Now that essay question, she replied, glancing at her mother, drawing strength from her resilience. The horizon was dazzling, glowing with untold promises. I guess it's time to start painting. As she spoke those words, she felt a shift within her. The stage, the audience, the future, they were all within reach. But with this bold leap came a question that lingered, bursting with promise and fear. What would it take to turn that dream into reality? Mia stood in the center of the stage, breathless. The applause had faded, but the energy of the crowd still pulsed around her. She took a moment to absorb everything: the lights, the murmurs, the glances that spoke of admiration and possibility. This was more than just a speech, it was a call to arms for those who shared her dreams and struggles. But now, it was up to her to translate that energy into action. She stepped down, the wood of the stage creaking beneath her, a reminder of the weight of her vision. Questions swirled through her mind. Where would she begin? Who would support her? The thrill was intoxicating, yet doubt crept in like fog. As she wandered through the crowd, she noticed a woman lingering at the edge. She had kind eyes, filled with the remnants of tears. Mia approached her hesitantly. Hi, I'm Mia, she introduced herself. Jessica, the woman replied, a soft smile breaking over her face. You moved me. Your story, it's my story too. Mia's heart surged with understanding. The connection she craved was happening, right here and now. Really? She leaned closer, eager to listen. Yes. My mother worked her fingers to the bone, just like yours. It was hard, but there were moments of beauty, 2 moments we fought for and cherished. Jessica's voice quivered as she spoke, laden with nostalgia. Their conversation unfolded, layer by layer, revealing the common threads that bound them: resilience, hope, and love hidden in the mundane. From that first interaction, a spark ignited within Mia. She started to think of others. She envisioned community gatherings, where stories like Jessica's could be shared, celebrated, and elevated. What if she could create a space, a sanctuary of sorts, where women could come together to support one another, to thrive? Her mind raced with possibilities. She would need a team. A team of passionate souls willing to tell their stories and amplify the voices that echoed through the struggles they all faced. It had to be a diverse group, each individual adding their unique brushstrokes to the big picture she was beginning to see. Suddenly, she felt lighter. Jessica, let us do this together, Mia proposed, excitement bubbling inside. What if we started a group? A place where women could share their journeys, support one another, and create, I don't know, art or performances that highlight our experiences? We could inspire others to join. Jessica's eyes widened. Honestly? That sounds incredible. I've always wanted to connect with others to show the beauty in our sacrifices. Mia could see the light in Jessica's eyes matched her own growing enthusiasm. Together, they brainstormed ideas, perhaps a potluck to share meals and stories, or art workshops focusing on visualizing their experiences. And just like that, the first small step began to blossom, a vision transforming into something tangible. As the weeks passed, Mia supplemented her ideas with research. She immersed herself in community centers, libraries, and online forums, seeking both inspiration and support. She met other women who resonated with her vision, an artist who wanted to paint portraits of those who inspired her, a musician whose songs told stories of her mother's struggles, and even a writer who could help craft narratives that would tug at hearts. When they finally came together, the room was filled with laughter, shared challenges, and purpose. Mia marveled at the tapestry they were weaving, women from different backgrounds, merged by similar dreams. But that light soon flickered again as the weight of logistics bore down on her. How would they fund their projects? Where would they meet? A million doubts screened the possibilities. A woman leaned in, sensing Mia's hesitation. Remember, it's okay to be scared. We're all in this together. Let's find our way as a team. Mia took a deep breath, letting the warmth of community envelop her like a cozy blanket. That was it, wasn't it? Together, they could build something that would surpass all their fears. As the gathering began to dissolve, Mia felt a rush of gratitude and hope. They exchanged numbers and ideas, making plans to meet again. Yet as she left, her heart racing with excitement, a question pricked at her mind: in giving voice to these stories, would she be ready for the truths that might emerge? The journey had now begun, and she didn't know where it would lead. But she was determined to find out. Mia stared at the crumpled notes in her hand as she walked home, the lights on the street casting shimmering patterns across the pavement. Each step resonated with a blend of confidence and trepidation. She had set the wheels in motion, but the more she thought about it, the more she realized how much was at stake. Was she really equipped to lead this new venture? Her mind replayed the faces of the women she had met that evening, all their hopes and dreams packed into one small room. There was magic in their laughter, in the way they shared their occasional sorrows like fragile glass ornaments, but there was also something heavier beneath. As inspiring as they were, she could see flickers of doubt in their eyes, mirroring her own. Mia arrived home and dropped her bag on a nearby chair, suddenly overwhelmed by the emptiness of her apartment. The walls felt closer as she soaked in the solitude. She yearned for her mother, for the storyteller who used to weave comfort and strength into her whispers of encouragement. The echo of those moments filled her with longing. Why did you leave me? It was a question she often pondered but never dared to voice aloud. She picked up the framed photo of herself with her mother smiling in the park, her faded smile forever etched in Mia's memory. As the night passed, she found it difficult to sleep. Images danced through her mind of potlucks, art workshops, and inspiring stories intertwined. But an unsettling thought hovered like a shadow: what if she failed? What if the very stories they sought to elevate turned into a procession of pain rather than healing? Mia's phone buzzed, jolting her from her thoughts. It was a message from Jessica. Can we meet tomorrow? I've been thinking about our plans, let's figure this out. Mia's heart raced with a flicker of hope. They had embarked on this journey together, they could lean on one another. And so, the next day, she met Jessica at a cozy cafe lined with vines and rustic decor, the perfect backdrop for what they needed to discuss. Thank you for meeting me, Mia said as she curled her fingers around a warm mug of tea. Jessica smiled, her eyes reflecting determination. I started writing down our ideas. We need to establish a mission. Something that connects us to the community and helps everyone feel empowered. Her words lit a fire within Mia. That's it. We have to root our group in our shared experiences. I want us to provide a platform where we can uplift one another not just with our art but with our histories, too. They brainstormed for hours, their voices rising and falling, ideas weaving together into a tapestry of potential. But as they drafted plans on napkins and drink coasters, a new worry crept into Mia's mind: funds. Every transformative idea needed resources, and she had no idea how to raise them. What if we host a fundraiser? Jessica suggested, her brow furrowing as she spoke. We could sell donated art, host an open mic night, anything that gets the community interested. Mia's mind buzzed with possibilities. Yes. Local businesses could sponsor us, maybe partner with us to showcase our journey. With each idea, excitement grew, yet doubt lingered beneath the surface. As they finalized their plans, a gust of uncertainty rushed through Mia. She couldn't help but ask, will this work? Will people really care? Jessica reached across the table, placing her hand over Mia's. If we show our passion, our voices will resonate. This is about connection and authenticity. Everyone has a story, and ours are powerful. Mia took a deep breath, the warmth of Jessica's touch soothing her nerves. But what she didn't expect was the sudden realization of how vulnerable this journey would render her. Would she be able to share her own story, to channel the healing of those memories into something meaningful? As they waved goodbye after their meeting, Mia felt a mix of excitement and dread. She was stepping into uncharted territory, about to open herself up completely. And as she walked toward her apartment, the question lingered: what if revealing her past could heal not only her but also others who carried the weight of silence? Could she truly find the courage to face what lay ahead? Mia woke up the next morning feeling both anxious and determined. The sunlight pierced through her curtains, spilling into the corners of her room like cheerful whispers. She stared at her reflection in the mirror, brushing back her hair. You can do this, she told herself. Breathing in deeply, she practiced her smile. It felt a bit forced, but she hoped it would warm the cold edges of her doubt. At breakfast, she prepared her favorite cereal, but the bite felt heavy in her throat. Her mind raced with thoughts of the fundraiser, the turnout they hoped for, and the stories that needed to be shared. But it was also this nagging sense of inadequacy that gnawed at her spirit. What if no one showed up? What if people laughed at their ideas? She shook her head, trying to dispel the negativity. Before long, it was time to meet Jessica again, this time at the community center where they planned to host the fundraiser. Walking through the doors, Mia was greeted by the warmth of the space, a blank canvas, waiting for their ideas to take root. Scattered chairs and the smell of freshly painted walls filled the air, offering a sense of potential. Jessica arrived just as Mia was surveying the room, her arms filled with sketch pads and pens. Okay. Imagine this space bursting with creativity. Jessica exclaimed, her enthusiasm contagious. We'll have local artists setting up their work right here, she gestured excitedly, and maybe even a performance stage over there. Mia's heart surged. The prospect of filling that space with art and stories, with laughter and connection, was intoxicating. What about a sign-up sheet for open mic slots? She suggested. People could share poetry, memories, anything they want. Exactly. Jessica replied, her eyes shining. Let us reach out to those women from last night. They have stories that need to be heard. Together, they dove into planning. Calling the artists, reaching out to local businesses for donations, creating flyers, everything felt frantic yet exhilarating. Mia could feel the spark of hope igniting within her, each action taking her closer to a dream, a mission that started to feel achievable. As the day rolled on, a few of the women, Maria and Linda, came by to help. Mia watched in awe as they began hanging vibrant pieces of art on the walls, each brushstroke telling its own tale of pain, joy, and resilience. Maria turned to her, Mia, this is beautiful. We all need this, a space to feel connected. Mia's heart swelled. In that moment, she understood the true impact of their work. It wasn't just about art, it was about building relationships, healing through shared experiences, and reclaiming their voices. But as they worked, the familiar dread returned, seeping into her thoughts. What if her voice wasn't strong enough? What if her own truth was too painful to share? Jessica noticed the shift in her demeanor. "Hey," she said softly, placing a hand on Mia's shoulder. "You okay?" Mia felt the weight of her uncertainties pressing down. "I'm scared, Jess. Scared I'll mess this up. Scared I won't have the bravery to share my story." Jessica squeezed her shoulder gently. "You've already taken the hardest step showing up. This is a safe place. We're here for each other." The kindness in her friend's eyes pushed against Mia's fears. Maybe she wasn't alone in this. Maybe vulnerability could lead to strength and healing, not just for her, but for everyone. As the hours melted away, they finalized everything. They stood back, surveying the transformed community center, a brightly lit hub of creativity pulsing with anticipation. Mia felt a tremor of excitement fill the air. But as the evening drew closer, anxiety twisted in her gut. She took a moment to step outside, breathing in the cool evening breeze to steady herself. She thought of all the emotions rolling within her, of stepping onto the stage, ready to speak. The door suddenly creaked open behind her. It was Linda, looking more resolute than ever. "Mia, you ready for this?" Mia turned, her heart pounding. "Ready as I'll ever be, I think." Linda smiled warmly, her expression brimming with understanding. "Let us show them what we can do together." Mia took a deep breath, the weight of fear gripping her, but also a weightlessness of potential. This was more than an event. This was a beginning. And as she looked toward the door, ready to face whatever lay ahead, she asked herself, could her story truly help others fly out of the weight of silence? What awaited inside was about to change everything. Mia stood backstage, her heart drumming in her chest like the beating of a war drum. The echo of laughter, the brisk chatter of anticipation, and the soft rustle of art hung in the air. She felt a mix of adrenaline and apprehension. This was her moment, a culmination of every sacrifice, every tear shed, every story waiting to be told. "Are you ready?" Jessica's voice broke through the noise, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Mia nodded, swallowing the lump in her throat. "I think so." She took a breath, feeling the air fill her lungs, pushing back her fear. This wasn't just her fight anymore, it was about everyone standing behind her, the collective power of shared stories waiting to unfold. The spotlight flickered to life, signaling that it was time. Mia stepped out, and as the warm light enveloped her, she could see the audience, friends, family, strangers all gathered to witness something meaningful. "Good evening, everyone," she called out, her voice stronger than she felt. A few scattered applause, some encouraging smiles in the front row made her heart swell. "Thank you for being here today to witness something special." Mia glanced around the room, the paintings, the photographs, the faces eager to listen. "We're here tonight to celebrate not just art, but the women behind it, our narratives, our struggles, and our triumphs. This isn't just my story, it's our story." With each word, she felt the weight of anxiety begin to lift. "I grew up watching my mother work hard in her maid uniform each day. She fought against every stereotype, every prejudice. Her strength taught me that our worth is not defined by our jobs, but by our dreams and love." A collective hush fell over the crowd, and she took a step closer to the mic. "I'm not here just to share my mother's story, I'm here to share our journey as women. Each one of us carries battles, some seen, others concealed, but together, we can lift each other up. We can amplify our voices." The murmurs in the audience shifted, hearts were beginning to open. "I created this space so we can explore our experiences. Together, we'll host open mics, showcase art, perform, and most importantly, connect. What makes us vulnerable can also make us powerful." Her eyes scanned the familiar faces in the crowd: Jessica, Maria, Linda, each of them nodding in encouragement. Mia tapped into that love, drawing courage from it as she continued. Art can be our vessel. The paintings around us? They tell stories similar to ours, lived experiences encapsulated in color. Each one is a thread in the tapestry of our lives. Let us embrace who we are, with all our messiness and beauty. Let us show the world that every story, no matter how small, holds boundless significance. Applause erupted, resonating like a celebration of unity. Mia felt the smiles wrap around her heart. She knew she was no longer alone on this journey. As she took a step back, her chest swelled. The moment was more than she had ever imagined. The paths of their stories intertwined like the branches of a tree, rising strong and proud. With a gleam of excitement in her eyes, she introduced Jessica, who stepped forward to share her own journey with unwavering grace. Each voice that followed echoed the same message: we matter. Tonight was a beginning, a reclamation of their voices. Hours flew by, laughter and tears mingling in a beautiful dance as each woman took their turn. As Mia sat back, listening to their stories, she realized that the tapestry of their lives was not just simple threads, it was a masterpiece crafted through love and resilience. When the last story was told, Mia stood, enthusiasm bubbling. Thank you all for being part of this magical evening. Together, we'll continue weaving our experiences into this community. Let us promise to support one another, to reach out, to embrace vulnerability. We are stronger together. As the applause surged, laughter echoed through the center, filling every corner with joy. Hope sparked in Mia's chest, unwavering and bright. Later that night, as she stepped outside with Jessica, the warmth of the evening wrapped around them like a comforting blanket. We really did it, Mia whispered, grinning ear to ear. More than that, Mia, Jessica replied, her voice filled with sincerity. You showed everyone the power of your voice, and there's so much more to come. Mia looked up at the stars twinkling overhead, holding that truth close. This was just the beginning of not just her story, but of forging a new path that would resonate far beyond herself. And in that moment, she knew that together, they'd continue to rise. Without hesitation, she pulled out her phone. Now let us get the word out. I want this to grow. I want everyone to hear our stories. The horizon was wide open, waiting for them to step into it. They didn't merely dream anymore, they were ready to soar, harnessing the power of their collective voices. Join Mia and the community in this powerful movement. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comments are gold. Don't miss the chance to share your reactions and feelings about this incredible transformation. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this extraordinary journey. Remember, only true fans grasp the importance of supporting this channel through these actions. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share.